Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is John, and I just want to do a video showing off some of my FDM Anuo Hero blasters and the three variants that I make. As you can see, these are the three of them right here from left to right. Technically, they're all the exact same blaster from Star Wars, just at different stages of creation. It's all FDM printed, and you know, everything has been created pretty accurately. And in order to do all this, the first thing I had to do was, let's move these aside here, was to create an accurate C96 Mauser that was going to be the base for all of these. This actually has the stem bridge grips on it, while this side has the regular grips on it. So I just carry this around. But anyways, this is a C96 accurately created. You can see all the details from the site. It's all in there. This has a spring. It comes apart like a real one. There's actually a spring right inside this part here, so it to work properly. The trigger, the safety works, and it's made just like a real one. There's actually a mag weight inside here. Let me take that out real quickly. The plate works. So this is like a mag weight, just give it a little extra weight. And it fully comes apart like a regular C96. This shows how detailed the build is. There's already over 20 individual parts in order to recreate this, in order to make it work. But anyhow, yeah, these are the details that just bring these blasters to a different level. And attention to detail anyways. Let's put this back. But yeah, that's a 1-to-1 C96 Mauser replica. That's what these Anuo Hero blasters are built upon. So let's start with this first one here. So this blaster here is the A New Hope configuration as it was seen. So the story goes, Lucasfilm hired a company called Bapti, a UK company, to make their blasters. And Roger Christensen was in charge of doing that. So he went to Bapti, and they took the C96 Mauser. Bapti had a bunch of Mausers that were already cut up, that were just had a bull barrel on it. So they took one of those Mausers and then added the parts. They added the scope, mount, flash hider. There's no mystery disc, as you can see at this point. The rails actually flipped over using reference photos. That's how we know what it looked like that Bapti took. And it was this blaster that was presented to George Lucas for approval originally. And once George saw this, from my understanding, he gave it the thumbs up. And the next thing he asked was for Roger Christensen to make it more spacey, to make it look more like a sci-fi prop, I guess. To which this is the next configuration of the prop. So from there, Roger Christensen added the heatsink grill, flipped the rail around, painted it black, the rail itself. Whatever reason why, I'm not sure, but it definitely was painted black. Some people believe the lower is painted black. There's no real proof of that. I'm not really in the camp of one side or the other. It's just, honestly, it looks to me like maybe it hasn't been painted black, but it's so subjective, so it doesn't really matter. Just do it how you please. But yeah, so anyhow, and then he added these greeblies on top, these antenna greeblies, and there was two originally put on there. And a mystery disc. Now this screws off to reveal what we all know to be underneath it is the actual mystery disc. But when the film was, when the prop was originally created and Roger Christensen was done with it, it was believed a part similar to this was glued on. No one's ever seen it, no one knows, but a part was glued on here that eventually came off. And as I mentioned, the antenna greeblies were here. He added the heatsink grill. And this is pretty much what the prop looked like when he handed it to Harrison Ford for the first time. Ford to get used to it, to handle it. There's photos of Ford in the back of, oh, he even painted the flash hider, I believe, in the back of L Street Studio, shooting it, firing blanks, because it would fire blanks. This also has a mag weight inside to give it a little extra weight. Sight, everything works. It's got the proper gouge right in here as well. Serial number that we know, which is right here. 2602, 2813. These details in the back, nobody knows. So I used 52577, release date of Star Wars, 61011. It's first post on the RPF post, on the RPF of a thread that's about this blaster that really got me interested in these builds to begin with. I've got all the nicks and crannies into the scope itself, which was a Hensoldt scope, which was used for that. And I even have the wear and tear on the grips as well. I'm not sure if you see that or not, but yeah. And then lastly, the last one to come about is this. This is the last version of this prop. It's how everyone pretty much is familiar with it, with the rail weathered. And it's the last known photos, and the antenna greeblies are gone. Only that's left is just this one little nub that's up there. Mystery disc is obviously gone. That's how we know it as well. Mystery disc was lost in pre-production when Ford was out back firing the blanks. There's a photo of it. You can see it's already missing the one antenna greebly, and I believe the mystery disc is already gone as well. So this thing was gone really fast. And honestly, was it ever there? We don't know, because it went from not having anything, the photos of this blaster here on this side, to what we see here with the mystery disc. So the assumption is that there was something there and it got pulled off and it left the silver underneath when it got ripped off. But no one really knows, so it's just kind of a logical conclusion there. But yeah, this is pretty much one-to-one how the prop looked when filming ended on Star Wars. With all these parts to be able to be created, like the mount is 100% infill for strength. The sight wheel, that's printed in 0.2 millimeter nozzle for details, to capture those details. So actually is this part here, so you can see where it says 9761, which is on the real scope, Hensoldt scope here. Again, the serial number on the scope. And you can see these serial numbers on the actual prop when you look at it. There's photos that have surfaced and you can actually see it to make it out. So it's not like this is subjective and I'm just making this up. It's pretty well documented. The flash hider itself I created, so this comes right off. So for cosplay, for example, I have a orange flash hider here that it just goes on, it just slides on the front. So if you're cosplaying, you can have an orange flash hider, safety first. And then that comes off as well, as I mentioned, and the flash hider is replaceable on it. But yeah, just wanted to show off the prop. This is also printed in 0.2 millimeter nozzle to get all those numbers and all that details. Yeah, but it's kind of fun to have all three of these props, as I mentioned. So, Bapti, pre-production. This is the Roger Christensen, George Lucas approved blaster, pre-production. And then this is the way it finally was seen at the end of the film. Now these markings here, it's because this blaster appeared in a few different scenes throughout, not just with Han Solo. It appeared with some Imperial troopers having it. And so what they did was they just took it apart, which is believed. You screw off this here. And this is all authentically made. And then screw this off. And if you ever painted with these, you'll know. And you slide it. You know, one of the things you have to be careful is you'll end up ripping the paint right off it. And I'm sure that's exactly what they did. You can see it just lines up perfectly right there where the paint would go. And then put it back on here, probably slid too far forward just to about here and rip that paint off. So that's all logical of how that paint got all messed up. And this stops exactly where it should go. I have it designed so when you put on these screws, if you just tighten it appropriately, it'll stop right there, and that's where it should stop. But yeah, this is the A New Hope here. And yeah, as I mentioned, the flash hider on the actual prop is wobbly. You can see photos of it where it's off to the side like this, and it bends up forward. I think there's even photos of it bent down, but I designed it so it wouldn't bend down. It just goes straight across, but it will bend up for display purposes if you want to display it that way, how it was in the real prop. And then, as I mentioned, the safety works. But anyhow, I just wanted to show off these props really quickly. Yeah, the 3 A New Hope Hero Blasters from Star Wars. 1977 Star Wars, that is. Authentically recreated, 1-to-1. But yeah, cool. Peace out. Football's well. Later. Oh wait, I lied. One more blaster to show you. This one here. This one may look familiar to a few of you out here. This here blaster is the blaster that went to auction, a replica of the blaster went to auction a few years ago, which was trying to pass off as this blaster here, the Bapty version. Tony Watts, I believe his name is, Bob Bapty, around the year 2000. Star Wars was made in 1977, bought it 2000, went through the drawers and found these parts, the scope and the mount, just these parts here, and then went through and found a Mauser. It's an inaccurate Mauser. We know that because of the serial number that's on this prop. And this one is duplicated 1-to-1 of the actual prop that went to auction and that went for like $1 million. But this is the prop, as I mentioned, that went to auction for $1 million, but it's inaccurate. It's not the actual hero itself. They had photos of this that they tried to duplicate this prop and turn it into. But if you look at it, a couple of things stand out. Look at the scope wheels. Look how much bigger this one is. Can you see here as well the how short this bull barrel is as well? It's super short. These just few discrepancies. This one doesn't have a dovetail, where on the mount it does have a dovetail, the authentic one. You know, when they made this one, they shaved it down here. And they, Carl Schmidt, I believe, who actually did work on the original prop, rebuilt this one, but he's a bit of a curmudgeon, so I don't think he really paid too close to attention to details. I just think he knew how it was built, like it had the rail and the screws and the mount, and he just threw it together as it was, and then they threw it into auction, and that's how a lot of these props end up in auction anyhow. They just take a prop that had parts that were in Star Wars, and then they rebuild it and send it to auction and say, look here, this was the Han Solo used build blaster, and let's see what we can get for it. And they got a lot for it, but it's actually not the real prop. And the most obvious parts, the scope, I said, as I mentioned, the actual scope itself is authentic. From here up is all authentic. But the biggest tell is this serial number right there, which is 9415. On the actual prop, it's actually 2813. So yeah, that's the tell. That's how you know it's fake, guys. All right, that's it. Now we're done. Peace out. Later.